Hey, my techie tribe, it's Wendy and Tech here, and yes, we are back. And I have my amazing friend in the building, Nigel Ashford. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Wendy. How are you doing?
Doing great. So, you guys, we're going to get into some of Nigel's business today, and we are going to talk about everything that relates to what he has going on, what he's been doing. It's 2026. Let's get on into everybody's business. I'm all for it. This is not Wendy Williams, but like this is Wendy in Tech, and we want to see what's happening with you in the industry. So, Nigel, please introduce yourself. Who are you, and what do you do?
Sure. First of all, Wendy, thank you for having me. And
Yes.
second of all, Wendy is always in my business. So like she low-key already knows. So again, my name is Nigel Ashford. I started my career actually in television and news, doing reporting and anchoring, and then getting into working for the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute in project management. And then after working with them, I started working for Gear Up Birmingham in helping kids in urban communities get connected to scholarships, internships, and also possible opportunities that a lot of people in those areas don't have. After that, I went on to working for Shoney's headquarters as a social media director, and then left there to work for KPMG as a senior events person, leaving KPMG, then going to Google, working as a global event manager in different countries and in the US. And now I am at NMSDC, where we are connecting small businesses for over 2,000 small businesses that are for those who are minorities, and also helping large corporations making sure their companies is 51% minority employees.
Wow. You guys, you see what I gotta deal with every day? I want you guys to deal with it too. But Nigel is fully remarkable. Like, you are doing a lot of things, especially being a black man in this community,
Yeah.
right? You have named like three powerhouses in
Yeah.
your whole entire spiel about yourself, because we could always have a spiel for an hour. He can go on for more stuff, but he just was really being generous.
Yeah.
But I really want to know, so what made you want to get into that? After leaving the civil rights and everything, how did you decide to transition into those?
Into like events.
Yeah, like into events.
Um, it's funny because my mom started doing her own events. And I was helping with her in her weddings and parties, and it just came natural. But I didn't think it was gonna be for me. And then all of a sudden, I actually went through a period of loss.
Hmm.
I knew I didn't want to do news. I knew I didn't want to do project management. And I felt like I didn't have any experience with events. So I felt that I was in this weird situation. And then my mentor offered me a contract position for $200,000 to work for Lifetime TV Network. And it will be for 2 years. And I was like, oh, heck yeah. Like, I'm going to do that. So my last 2 weeks came for my job with Shoney's headquarters. And he got my plane ticket and everything. And it was actually supposed to be for TD Jakes' talk show.
Hmm.
And when it got canceled because of the strike at the very last minute that we were supposed to fly out. So I was unemployed. I didn't have an apartment to go back to, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I went, helped my mom out with her events, made some money that way. And I also was my great grandmother's caretaker at the time. So I was making money for my mom, helping my grandmother, and doing Uber Eats like on the side. And I felt lost because all my friends were getting their PhDs, starting their businesses, becoming doctors, all those kind of things. And I was like, dang, man, I'm 28, 29, and I'm stuck.
Hmm.
And I remember going to church one day, and the pastor prayed over me, and he said, I don't know your situation, but God told me he's going to bless you with a job in January, but you will have to move in February. And it was around April when he told me this. And then June or July came around, somebody offered me a job, and it was going to be for the most money I've ever made. And my mom said, son, I know you want this job, but something in my spirit is telling me to turn it down. And we're going to continue helping you until you can. And I waited all the way to January, and I got the offer from KPMG. And then they told me I needed to move to Dallas in February. And that's how I got into events.
It's so crazy because I feel like we all are kind of victim to comparing ourselves to other people, right?
Yes, yes.
Like comparison definitely is a thief of joy. I remember when I started my tech journey, I was degreed. I graduated early, so I graduated. All my friends are older than me, but I'm kind of mature for my age, so it kind of makes
Wait,
sense.
are you though?
I am.
Y'all, Wendy is like my little sister. I swear to God.
I am very mature for my age, so but I graduated in 2018 and I have a degree, so I'm just like I remember working at HEB in Belton, Texas, and I told people I worked with, I was like,
Wait, they had you in customer service
they
one day?
did. I was a cashier at HEB for 3 years in Belton, Texas, and they loved me there.
What
The store manager, everybody, like, I was like their favorite person. But I mean, it's accurate. If I'm not your favorite person, it
I
doesn't
want
make
to see the
sense.
receipts, Wendy.
We could call them today. So I'm there, and this is like my last week. I'm like, I'm about to graduate. I was like, I'm moving to DC. I'm gonna be this big name person in tech. Like, y'all are, y'all not gonna see me no more ever. Like, I'm never working at a grocery store ever again. I'm saying all this stuff, like, I'm very confident, obviously. So I'm saying this stuff. I go graduate, and I end up moving to DC. My parents are out there, so a lot of you know my dad worked in the government as a logistics in the army. He did that for like 36 years. He's a highly ranked officer. Can't get into all his credentials. It's classified. But I moved out there, and I was like, I'm gonna get into cybersecurity. I'm going to work for the government. That was like my goal. My actual goal for a job was NASA. Everybody knows, like, that was my dream job. I always wanted to work in NASA and do cybersecurity.
Oh, wow.
So I get to DC completely humbled. I'm telling you, because all my friends that I saw there already had a job. I get to DC, no one's hiring me at all. I send my resume into everybody. They're like, oh, well, your dad works this place. He could talk to that person. I'm like, he can only do so much. Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing stuff my own. I'm networking. It's just not working out. He was like, you go to the Air Force. And I'm just like crying. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I remember telling him that, but like, that wasn't me. Like, that was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to work in cybersecurity. I want to be able to advocate and help for other people. I want to really be passionate about this industry. And also, I was just hungry and eager. I was younger, so like I was 21 at the time. I'm just like super happy. So I come in, and I'm telling you, I had nothing. I was literally a kickboxing instructor with a degree in cybersecurity.
I can see that.
And I also was tutoring people in my master's program in North Carolina A&T State University. So I'm literally doing this. And at the same time, I ended up getting my very first call with Base Systems. They called me for like an internship to come in during the summertime in Rockville, Maryland. I'm like, yes, I'll do it. Then I get another door opening. I get a call I applied for like a job with the government. Obviously, like they'll do my background process, my background check. And they were doing this to get me on to start working, like, in like some place in Georgia. It was like
What did they find in their background check, Wendy?
Nothing's there.
Okay.
The background is clean. The background is clean. You can look today. If you find something there, it is AI. It ain't real. The background is clean. So long story short, I got my very first role. I tell people this all the time. My very first role, making $90,000 repair time, and my mom was just like trying to wonder, like, oh, why would I not stay here forever? You got to remember when back before COVID really kind of messed stuff up. People was like moving around.
Yeah.
Money was going good, and that was really crazy right now. But I remember while I was out there, I was talking about coming back to Texas. I told Mom I wanted to come back out here. I told her that I had plans to be here. I just feel like my calling was not out there. I feel like God had a calling for me in Texas to help other people with what I do, and it wasn't meant to be for me to be in DC and Virginia. She just couldn't understand. She's like, you're making X amount of money here. I'm just like, it doesn't matter. I don't feel
happy
it here because God's telling me to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I ended up applying for a job at NASA at my dad's retirement party. They called me to say I got the job at NASA in Houston.
Congratulations.
And I was just like, I don't know. I was like on cloud 9. Okay, y'all. I was like,
they couldn't tell you nothing that day.
No, I was like, Kelly Rowland, like, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I told you I was gonna bump like this. Like, you couldn't tell me anything. Like, I was about to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So then like a week and a half later, they're like, oh, Wendy, something got wrong with your paperwork. And when you apply for the job, you apply for GS-13, and we can put you on that step. You have to be a GS-11. So, the government has pay scales they go by.
Right.
They're really big on, like, obviously, like, work experience, education, and just trying to put you in a certain mark to get started. So they canceled the job.
No.
I was like, well, I can go back and edit it and do GS-11. It's like, no, when you apply, you did GS-13. And I was completely devastated. Like, I feel like everything I worked for was just the worst. But God has a funny way of doing stuff. So I ended up getting an opportunity with another company working for them, and things have started taking off. I established, coming here, I wanted to do Onyx Cyber Incorporated. I finally got to it last year. I bought a house in Houston, very, for a low price. I have a chance to help advocate for people out here, going to different events, and meeting people like yourself is what I was really happy about. So it's like, I get what you're saying. Like, it was really hard with comparing yourself to other people and seeing them all have things going on and succeed. I'm just like, well, I'm not getting what I want,
Yeah.
So whenever it happened, I'm telling you, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like, my shoulders can finally relax. So that's really good. But you guys, Nacho has a lot going on right now. So I heard on the block that you have a very great organization that had one of the hottest events for Afrotech
Yes.
for Mingle and Muse.
Yes.
So you are Muse. Mingle is not here.
Yeah.
So please explain to us just how you got the opportunity to work with Afrotech and also what you do with Mingle and Muse.
Yes. So my business partner, his name is London Lawrence. As she said, he's more of the Mingle. I'm the Muse. I'm the creative director of Mingle and Muse, and London is the head of strategy for Mingle and Muse. And we just work in tandem so well together. I'm getting the ideas, putting together what about this, and seeing the vision. And he's able to operationally put those things together, make sure the right people are in the room. And also, he brings me down to earth when my ideas go all over the place. When you're a little ADHD, you need that person to kind of like rope you in a little bit. And we just work so well together. And I'm more direct. I like to know yes or no. He knows how to massage the conversation a little bit too. So sometimes he'll be like, let me take this. I can be with the BS for a long period of time. Nigel, I think you should like let me. I'll be like, yeah, do your thing. Get us an answer, get us a deal, and I'll sit back here. But it just worked. We've been friends for 3 years now. Our friendship started back in 2023, and we've been going strong ever since. And going back to the reason things happened, I moved to Houston in March 1st. London then moved back to Houston on April 1st. And we were just like, oh, we both are here at the same time. Cool. I have a friend. He has a friend here. So we're going to just be best friends and just like, just enjoy our lives as like early 30-year-olds. And then he said, hey, let's go to this event that this girl named Bree is putting on. And I was like, sure. And then on the day of the event, he was like, hey, my grandmother is in the hospital. Something happened. I can't go to the event, but you still should go. And I said, no, I don't want to go without you because, I'm a little shy. And I was like, I don't feel like talking to people. I'm an Aquarius. Like, why are you putting me in like this situation? And he said, no, you should go. I was like, no, it's cool. And then all of a sudden, a voice got really loud. He was like, put some clothes on and go. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna sit here on my butt, watch some TV, put some clothes on and go. I was like, no. And then all of a sudden, the voice started sounding like that Black Mama voice, like, get your butt up, put some clothes on and go.
Like I said, go.
And I was like, okay. So I go to Bree's event. The first person I meet is Bree, not knowing who she is or what she looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just talking, having a good time, chilling. And then they were like, okay, no, Bree, come to the stage. And she's like, I'll be right back. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, it was you. And she putting on this event, bringing people together. I thought it was just such a cool concept. And I said, dang, man, I wish I can do something like that. And then we met Olivia, who was there also with Creative Market. She introduced me to Olivia, and they both invited me to the Creative Market event with London. And then the next day, me and London both went to the event, and we literally turned at each other at the same time. It was almost like a light bulb moment where we said, we literally said, we can do this. And the next day we started our LLC. The next day we started getting insurances, filling out paperwork, and you have to find a partner that is going to put in the equal amount of work as you're going to do, who's passionate about the same thing and the same vision. Vision and purpose has to align. And then you also have to find somebody that if I'm able to do 20% this week, they're able to do 80. If I'm able to do 60, they have to do 40. And it's almost like a marriage, but you're both bringing in Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so it just worked, and we started doing an event networking company and also creating marketing and advertising deals with corporations. We did events with Etros with their showcase of Beyonce's fashions. We worked with Afrotech, and
Yeah.
we did the kickoff event for them, and we didn't think that we were going to get it because we were brand new, but then we got approved, and then everything fell into like together. Yes, we had some bumps
Yeah, look,
along
never
the
count
way.
yourself, never count yourself out. You never know what's gonna
You
happen.
never know
Because
what's
the
gonna
Afrotech event
happen.
they did was a phenomenal event. It was people everywhere. Obviously, I was there selling Mrs. Onyx. Get your copy.
And you sold some
I
books.
did sell a lot of books at
You
Mrs.
sold
Onyx while I
some
was there.
books.
The food was amazing. There were people there, obviously, like making a lot of networking opportunities. I think there's even people
We
there.
had robots.
There was a lot of robots there. There were people like even I think getting opportunities for like interviewing or like getting conversations
Yes,
about job
yeah.
offers. So their event brought in so much traction for like for Afrotech, and I was happy they got approved for it. They worked so hard. It's funny because I actually met them at Blackest Tech.
Yeah.
Well, I met
You
Mingle, which is
met London.
London. Nigel is obviously not as friendly, but I met London at Afrotech, and we were just talking, and they didn't have a chance to do event with. I'm sorry, with Blackest Tech. They didn't have a chance to do with Blackest Tech, and I was like, you guys have like a great thing going on. Like, I just don't think, I just personally don't think anybody should count themselves out. Like, I think that no one is better than the next person. I think we're all great in our own way, in our own opportunities, and I think that we bring a lot to the table in many ways, in many fashions. So, when they got Afrotech, that was like the pillar, and I think from there, they're only going to go up.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
like
Yeah. But I would say this, like, I always knew I had the spirit of entrepreneurship,
hmm
but I didn't know what it was going to look like because I felt that going just spiritual, I felt like God gave me something that I didn't think I could use. I said, I'm good at networking. What can I do with that?
hmm
And for us to create events that bring people together and bring opportunities, it's working. And to see things take off very quickly, even my mom said, everything for y'all is moving so
it moved so quick
fast.
after I literally, I'm telling y'all, when I saw London at that Blackest Tech dinner at Kiss, everything for y'all moved a lot quicker.
It moved so quick.
And
And
it's like alignment, like timing that was supposed to happen.
timing. And people have to understand about timing. Like, it's not just your time that needs to take place. People have to get positioned in certain spaces, locations. Like you needed to move to Texas, Bree needed to move to Texas, London needed to move. Like everybody had to do their part in their puzzle of the whole grand design for everything to happen step by
Yes,
step.
and it's a blessing to see it all work together. Like to for us all to be in the same like space and with each other. Like we work so well. Shout out to Collab, shout out to Jim Social, shout out Bree, Khalil, my
Yes.
boy London, Nigel, Mingle, and Muse, like VP, all everybody that's in this Marcus Joe. Like we are really doing a lot for the African American community in Houston, and it's
Yeah.
very impactful. And like I said, doing entrepreneurship is not easy. So my question to you though is, you're a young black man, you're an entrepreneur. You see how the market is right now with tech and the job market. Do you think striving to be an entrepreneur is like a good option right now, or you think that people should probably weigh their options?
I think, and I'm just going to be honest, you have to always be okay with betting on yourself. You have to understand that in being an entrepreneur, your hours does not look like a person who has a salary's hours. It's not a let me go here at 9, let me leave here at 5. It's times where you're going to be working at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., weekends on your business. And it's almost like a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people call me a workaholic, but the best thing about it, I enjoy what I do, and you have to have a passion about what you do. It can't just be about money. It has to be about something that is going to, yes, bring you financial need, but I also think it has to be something that is going to help you grow in abundance and also flow over enough that will affect other people in a positive manner as well. So I would say that. And then also when it comes to entrepreneurship, it's kind of like sales. You're going to get 50, 60, 70, 80 no's, but there is going to be one person that says yes to you. And me and London have gotten, oh, we would love to work for you. And then all of a sudden we get ghosted. We also got, this doesn't work with the, this doesn't align with our vision. no, no, thank you. And me and London, like, well, god dang. But then all of a sudden, somebody would come out of like the bushes and be like, oh, y'all need this for free. And we like, what? Yeah.
That's an angel sitting by the Lord.
Right. So we just be like, thank you, God. Like things just be working out. And you have to trust the process. Like, and I always say if you go into entrepreneurship, sometimes it helps to have a partner, somebody you trust. Like I trust London down. One thing about it, I know London will always have my back. And you have to have somebody who you can work with and who can work with you.
Hmm.
Cause I'm emotional and sometimes London would be like, now, friend, come down. Da, 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 da. You know, it's business. But sometimes London is emotionless. And I'd be like, maybe you need to have a little more
People say like
considerate.
that sometimes.
You know,
But I have emotions though.
I feel
Occasionally,
like yours is like
sometimes,
a little everywhere.
it depends. But I do agree with that, and you guys do so much. So, if you a quick summary, you guys, Mingle Muse is doing a lot of events related to tech, creatives, artists, anybody out there that's really looking to have a really good connection and networking. They are establishing that right here in Houston, Texas, and going to other places besides Houston. I know they've been to New York, DC, I believe Miami. Like they're gonna be going
Often.
Austin. They're gonna be going to different locations. So definitely, if you have the chance, follow Mingle and Views on Instagram, and also make sure you guys follow Nigel, follow London, and follow their story because they're doing a lot of good things happening. And before we close out, I want Nigel to tell you guys about their event that happening this month in Houston during Black History Month.
Yes, so we have a couple of things coming up. One, February 25th, we are the moderators for Blueprint for Posh. So we're going to be talking about how creators can get sponsorships. We're going to have Tarjay, who everybody knows is a huge art enthusiast, creator, and also works for the city in bringing arts, marketing, and events to the city as well. And then we're going to also have Christian Rodarte, who owns a sports marketing company, and he does contracts for Nike, for EA Sports, for Apple, Microsoft, and also for the NBA and for the NFL and for FIFA. So each one is going to bring that different type of idea of how do you get to these sponsors, how do you pitch for these sponsors, and how you can get prepared. And we just want to say thank you to Posh for choosing us as the moderators. And we hope you guys like are happy with the results that we get. We're gonna have that at Samad Studios, and it's gonna be a great event. And then the day after that, February 26th, we're going to have our Launchpad event surrounded by for our Black History Month. We are gonna bring in innovators who are gonna speak on sponsorship for Black businesses, SBAs, which is small business loans, also grants for Black businesses, and also how to get free resources through incubators and accelerators in the local Houston area as well. We're going to have vendors, we're going to have activations, and we just always, as African American people, we talk about network, 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 and being mentors, but we never talk about the money. We never talk about financial investment. We never talk about resources that will excel your program on. So we want to change the narrative of what networking and mentorship look like and start putting some dollars in some Black businesses' pockets.
No, definitely. I love that so much, you guys. Obviously, Nigel and London are doing great things with Mingle Muse. We'll have to bring him back when London is here to talk about more things they have going on in Houston and other areas besides Houston. So, quick shout out to Mingle and Muse. Thank you guys for making Black history. You guys are two young Black African American men really making a difference for everybody out there. So, I appreciate you guys so much. And as you guys always, thank you guys for like, sharing, and subscribing Wendy and Tech. Listen to this podcast and supporting Wendy and Tech because Wendy and Tech is here to stay, and so is Mingle and Muse.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Wendy.
Yes.
You're amazing. You're doing your thing. And I'm just so proud of
Oh,
you.
thank you so much, Nigel. It's so sweet, to get those type of words of encouragement. Sometimes I need things like that because,
Thank you.
some days I have questions like, am I not doing enough? But when I hear things like that, you guys, it's okay. I feel like it's great. So I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back on the right track, and I have a better way of balancing my life now. So I feel stress free.
And we love that.
Yes, we love that. So I'll see you guys on February 25th and 26th supporting Mingle and Muse. And I'll always follow Wendy and Tech, like, share, subscribe, and comment. And make sure you guys follow Mingle and Muse as well. Thank you.
Thank you.